Hi, I'm Adrian Maidment from EV Quest, and today I'm talking to Sean Higgs. Hi, Sean.
Hey, dude. How are you?
My first question will be, what do you own?
2016 P90D with Ludicrous Plus and a 2019 40 kilowatt Nismo Leaf.
Wow. So
Yeah, that's fun. That's cool.
You're all stocked up then on EVs.
Yeah. Got the little charger in the corner there as well. It does the job quite nicely.
Yeah. So what made you want to be an EV owner to start with?
Yeah, just a friend had one at a time, took me for a drive in it. Straight away, I was like, the single gear acceleration, the takeoff, and then, just the constant acceleration. And that wasn't even a performance model.
Yeah.
And, I liked the styling of the Model S at the time. It just sort of felt right. Yeah, definitely felt right.
Yeah. What did you have before?
So I had an A7 TDI, so similar shape and sort of style of car, very fuel efficient, very torquey, very smooth. And so I was sort of shopping in the same segment again.
Yeah.
I was this close to pulling the trigger on an RS7 before I bought this. And when I weighed up the maintenance costs of the two over time to have like a performance saloon car and like put 30 or 40,000 Ks on it a year, you'd almost end up buying the RS7 twice doing that. But at least with the Tesla, there wasn't going to be any servicing, or like drastic servicing apart from stuff breaking.
Yeah, so you are saving money and looking cool.
Oh yeah, and the performance too. It's got the
So how does that ludicrous mode? How does that ludicrous mode work?
Yeah, pretty sweet. It's launch control in the car. It's one of the 4 settings for acceleration. The batteries need to be at the ideal temperature. This one I did a few launches yesterday just to show someone it. Foot on the brake, foot on the accelerator, take the foot off the brake, and down you go. And everyone just goes like this, and your gut just goes down here. It's pretty crazy. It's good fun. Eats the battery, but good fun.
Yeah. And where did you buy your Tesla?
From a wholesale car dealer in Wellington.
Yeah.
So it's a Japanese import vehicle.
How long have you had it in?
Over a year, and I've done 35,000 Ks in it.
And what are the big advantages of it, you think?
Advantages.
Or what do you love about it? I guess.
What do I love about it?
Yeah,
the acceleration, dude.
Yeah.
The thing that's day to day, the autopilot is really cool. It's super advanced cruise control. Even though this is an older model one with only one camera, it just does so much of the driving for me. And then just for the special occasions, just flooring it and just even when it's just me in the car, if you've got a fast one, I reckon at night you should take the time to put the windows down, drive around real fast, and just get the air through.
Yeah.
It's pretty unique. I don't miss like car engine noises or any of that crap. The acceleration more than compensates for it.
And for that driver assist, you've got to have one hand on the steering wheel kind of thing, don't you?
I mean, I would say I sort of sit with my right hand at sort of 6 o'clock and just flick it every now and then to let it know I'm not dead.
Yeah.
It can't do a roundabout, but it can do 90% of driving to the shops and back, and 90% of heaps of highway cruising, moving between lanes. It's wicked, mate. It's wicked.
Yeah.
That there has quite advanced similar cruise control, but still not as good as that, and that's 3 years older as well with less cameras.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, what was that one again? Your other one?
Yeah, that's a Nismo Leaf.
Yeah.
So it's a Nissan Leaf, but with like a Nissan Motorsport package on it.
And how long have you had that one?
That one, I'm going to say 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
It's only done 4,000 Ks. It's Mrs. H's car. But no, that's sick. And it's her first EV too. She loves it.
Any surprises from owning an EV? Going from petrol to electric?
Oh, I mean, running costs first and foremost. I think the reality of living with the range is it is a real thing. Like, I think mainly because it's an older one, this one probably still only does about 340, 350 on a full charge and less if I'm towing. And just the charging speed's still not quite being there to be super convenient. Like, I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. You can conveniently charge anywhere. Like, you have to really muck up to get stuck. But it's still just a fraction too slow to, if you're trying to do a long trip to keep the momentum going, I find.
Yeah. Have you had any...
And that's even using... Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Carry on.
That's using a combination of the Tesla chargers and ChargeNet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had any real stressful moments when you've been, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it somewhere?
No, I can honestly say Mrs. H actually drives that down to lower Ks than I do with that.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more conscientious of it because I like to have the ability to jump in it whenever I want and go off pretty quick. So we usually have a car plugged in all the time. So they're usually always topped up. It's not too inconvenient. Not so much with that one, but definitely with this one.
Yeah.
So if I need to buzz off and do 300 Ks. I had a couple of breakages after I first purchased it. I had an AC unit go and the door handles go and the boot latch go. But I just leaned into the dealer on that and they sent it up to Tesla. And Tesla had no problem doing any servicing on it and supplying parts. Everything was charged at the usual rates. But they have made it clear that the battery and drivetrain warranty on it won't be recognised while it's being driven in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's food for thought because they have like an 8-year battery and drivetrain warranty. So you'd be like, oh, I'll buy a second-hand one and thrash it to 200,000 Ks and just drop it off at 7 years, 51 weeks. But no, they make it pretty clear that, if you bring it in here and they haven't sold it to you, they won't honour the warranty.
Oh, okay. So apart from that, though, the service is good.
Standard.
Yeah.
I think you'd run into issues with parts at the moment, but I haven't had anything break in the last 30,000 Ks, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And did you say you tow with it?
Yeah, so I'm just going to mention David Lees at Volt Vehicles.
Yep.
He supplied me with a tow bar. I didn't buy the car off him, but I noticed he had one when I saw a post he did on a Tesla owner page and sent him a message. Chucked a tow bar on it, towed my little boat, tow shit to the dump. The guys at Drive EV have put a similar tow bar on their Model S, and they've towed a Model 3 on a transporter trailer. They're more than capable of doing it.
Yeah.
The range hit sucks, but
yeah. So
you're a bit of a pioneer at this point.
Yeah. So what does it do to the range? Is it really...
So towing my 500 kilo boat and trailer like at 100 kilometers an hour, passing people, and not really turning off my driving, probably knocks a third of the range off.
Oh yeah.
So you do, like, if you're trying to take it down south or something like that, it's every 2.5 hours you've got to stop somewhere for 40 minutes and top up. So not as convenient as having the petrol diesel car.
Yeah, that'll probably only get better, won't it?
That's probably the most exciting thing coming is just getting that little bit further with the battery tech, so the ranges are, really there for when you need to do your long haul driving. Because topography is a big thing too. New Zealand's not a flat country by any stretch of the imagination, so that does cut into your range. But there's enough charging options around, and with CCS charging, then we'll get to that little bit step forward where the convenience factor will come back into it. Like, it'll be fast and snappy enough. Because 25 minutes to, get half your battery back's a bit.
But the Tesla network's still very good, isn't it? It's like a big selling point, would you say?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This car originally did not charge on the Tesla network. It was sold to me knowing that. But again, David at Volt Vehicles, he was able to supply me an adapter. And that's when I found out it's one of the model years where the free supercharging was still included.
So why didn't it work to start with? Is it from Japan, or was that just...
Different plug, mate.
Oh, different plug.
Yeah. There's a dealership here in Taupo that'll do a full conversion.
Yeah.
I just went with the adapter option because that was convenient at the time. But yeah, it can be done. They can get the Japanese ones on the New Zealand chargers. Yeah.
Is there a lot of Teslas secondhand coming in?
You'd have to talk to a dealer at the moment about that, but I'd be cautious of what's turning up because there is going to be 2013, 2014 Model S's out there, right? 70 kilowatts or 60 kilowatts, 75, 85, like the early battery packs. And I would be wary of those. I'd definitely be looking at anything facelift onwards. So this one was one of the first facelift models, 2016 upwards. At least, they'd been building them for a few years at that point. But also, like, for the money you spend, you might just want a brand new Model 3.
Yeah.
I think that's the best value new buying car in New Zealand at the moment, especially with the rebate. Like, for the range you get, the technology with the autopilot.
Could you get a rebate with a second-hand purchase?
We did on that one.
Yeah.
Yep, that got the 3.2 because it was an import. So that came into it, and with the trade-in, I think I'm 30K into that car, so that's fine.
You think you'll upgrade to a newer Tesla?
Yeah, so that's hard, man, because this one's fast. It's got free supercharging, which is a hard thing to give up once you get used to it. I will be on the lookout for a 2 or 3 year old Plaid when it comes on the market in New Zealand, even if it's a Jap import again. like something that's about a third of what it retailed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 250k, because they are only a 4-door car. They're not a supercar, and I get it, they're wicked fast, but they're big and they'll be great buying when they're second hand, because similar to these, man, at least they can't be thrashed to bits. Like there's very little serviceable parts on it.
Yeah.
Like just put the K's on it.
I love the styling and everything, but just on do you find just everything off the screen hard to adjust to? Because that was I'm not sure if I could handle just everything off the screen.
I would say I had it all figured out before I got to Sanson when I picked it up in Wellington. Because realistically, there's only probably 2 things you touch if you're ever driving on it.
Yeah.
Which might be your suspension or your drive mode. The rest of it's just no different than, looking up settings on your iPad and working out from there.
Yeah.
And the scrolls on the steering wheel are all good. Like there are buttons on the steering wheel still, so you have that kinetic thing for the really important stuff, like volume and climate control.
Oh, yeah.
But piece of cake, mate.
Oh, yeah. Any negatives or things?
Negatives? Yeah, it's negatives. Actually, no, I had to think pretty hard about that. The style, not the styling, the quality materials in the interior compared to the Audi I came out of, noticeably different.
Oh, yeah.
And because it's a quieter car, you do pick up more wind noise and road noise. But yeah, sort of everything is a bit, I'm going to say cheap and nasty, but not to that Euro level. I don't know if the brand new ones are any better, but like the interior of that Leaf there is far nicer than that. Like even with the cloth seats, everything's so much nicer, and it's got Apple CarPlay, which I've never had, but having used it in that, I was like, it'd be great if that had Apple CarPlay.
Oh, yeah.
It's about that. But as far as the car, I can't fault it, man. Like, and I thrash it. Like I tow my boat on riverbeds and launch it in the rivers with it. Just thrash the hell out of it all the time. And like everything still works. I lowered it a little bit, put some bigger wheels on it, tinted the windows. Like at some point, a bogan had to only use one of these and make it look silly, right? I've taken it down the drag strip.
Yeah.
Like it's done an 11.2 at Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the fast charging's fun. Like it is. The whole EV ownership experience, especially when we do the long trips, I do appreciate pulling over and stretching my legs a little bit. But yeah, when it gets a little faster, it'll just be, oh, you know what else is real cool?
Yeah.
Very varied community of Tesla owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can imagine the guys that get these cars are probably switched on techie sort of guys.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people I know that own one that isn't actually in IT. And like, cool online community.
Yeah, it seems
all out there to help each other.
Yeah, it seems very supportive. I'm in that EV Facebook. Everyone's lots of information and questions. And if anyone's got a question, there's sort of like 20 answers within a couple of minutes.
Straight away, mate. Yeah. Oh, we've all got one.
Yeah. So it's great. So,
and it's reassuring to those of us that buy the first one, and it's like, could you think for a second that you haven't bought a car?
Yeah. Maybe a summary. If someone's looking at potentially getting a EV in your Tesla market, what do you reckon is the key? Why would you go out and get your Tesla?
Over anything else?
Yeah.
I think a used Model S or X, if you can find one, still represents amazing value, especially if you get one with the later model cameras for better autopilot, particularly, and also so you get access to the Tesla supercharging network, because that's going to make or break it for you. You can buy, I don't know if we'll see any used ones soon, but longer range EVs or big battery cars you can go to town with, so not a 10 grand Leaf, like a 40k upwards sort of one. Yeah. But you're still going to be restricted at like 200, 250Ks, or you're going to be restricted at only one person can use the charger at a time. Teslas give you access to the charging network. And for the moment, especially if you're looking in these segments of cars, you want access to that. The used S and X, that platform. And Model 3s are cool. You get a warranty, you get some sort of Tesla customer support based out of New Zealand if you ever think you're going to need it. But they're a small car, mate. Model S is a bigger car.
Maybe the S then, yeah.
A bit more car for your money, I feel.
Yeah, okay.
Great value.
So the S is the one to get.
Yeah, and if you're shopping a little lighter, definitely the Model 3. The Leaf. But certainly the Model 3 is the best value new car that you can buy in New Zealand at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah.
I know that's sort of a mixture of all the things I've said, but if you were like hell bent on a new car and getting best bang for buck, I'd go with the Model 3, like an SR Plus to get the range and the AP and rah, rah, rah.
Yeah. Okay, Sean, I think that's answered all my questions.
No, it was fun, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
If you ever want to do this again, please let me know.
I might do
Do a follow-up.
6 months with your new car, how that's gone.
Yeah, I think I can squeeze another one behind them up there somewhere. I'll find something that'll catch
another
my eye.
little angle. Yeah. Looks great.